Checking in. Today we are talking all about the hero archetype. If you'd like, also I help people find their particular archetypes, whether it be a Jungian archetype or in the art of seduction. Let's get started today.
Yeah. I'm inspired. I'm inspired.
Hey there guys, how's it going? My name is Sumit Chatterjee from the Flow Zone Academy, and I'm a flow state coach, which means that I help you feel better and perform better. Today we're talking all about the hero archetype, okay? The hero archetype is one that fascinated me growing up because we were all drawn to heroes, right? When I grew up, I would watch or even read comics of Phantom. Right, I remember Phantom used to have the skull he used to punch people with and then leave that imprint. I also remember He-Man. I remember different comic books, Spider-Man. I was very drawn to different ideas, different superheroes, right? Doctor Strange is a very favorite of mine, as you guys know. It's really, really important for us to explore this hero archetype. Do you know why? Because all of us have this hero kind of genome inside of us to take calculated heroic risks in life, to move forward without fear, to have courage, right? And I think that is mainly the symbol of the hero is courage. Courage and transformation. So the essence of the hero is the sacrifice that they give for an ultimate goal or transformation. Mythologically speaking, the hero is there to find the treasure, to save the princess, to get the ring, to find the golden egg, to come back with the elixir of life, to go up the mountains on this quest and realize some epiphanies or revelations that they come back with, and they change their community or they change their world around them as they come back. It's The Hero's Journey by Joseph Campbell. Joseph Campbell is a great author of The Hero of a Thousand Faces, and he's also a philosopher. He talks a lot about the power of myth and mythology. Psychologically speaking, the hero is represented through a potential that a person can have, a unique potential, and also tapping into a person's truest, deepest desire, deepest feelings about something. So as the hero, you've got to do the shadow work. You've got to go into that catabasis, okay, of death, so that you can get transformed. That's the whole process of the hero. And if you feel heroic, or if you feel that this resonates with you, or perhaps you've been on a hero's journey, right? A lot of people have. It's really important to understand how that function of that works. You can explore the unconscious contents of your mind without feeling overwhelmed or scared, resistant towards it, avoidant of all of the shadows that you have. The potential result is a release of energy that's meant to happen from the repressed emotion, or the emotion that you're really looking for. You know how the vital organ is severed from the umbilical cord, right? When you're giving birth, you have an umbilical cord, right? And that cord represents the whale dragon metaphor of Jonah getting swallowed up by the whale, is really getting him swallowed up by the feminine energy, okay? And for a woman experiencing this hero's journey, it's sometimes projected through their own animus or their masculine side, or it's also looked at through like a man in their life going on the hero's journey, and then also being able to support his hero's journey, or maybe projecting onto him the ideals of the hero's journey that you could go on, or the heroine's journey as well, I guess, could be a completely different paradigm, which is very interesting to think about too. But the hero is the ideal masculine type, and the reason is he's leaving his mother and he's leaving the source of life behind him. And he has this unconscious desire to find her again through his friends or lovers or whatever, right? However, that mother's love, it cannot be taken away in a sense. It's just got to be conquered. It's got to be understood. It's got to be explored, okay? A lot of men, they suffer with the mother wound. They're not going to be good at getting into relationships with people because they still haven't closed the loop on that mother wound, you see? You know, it's difficult to stay mindful without thinking. The real red pill is when you fall in love, man, because that's what Dr. Bruce Lipton says, is that's an example of when you become mindful, you become present in the relationship, and you stop thinking. Mindfulness is really one of these cheat codes for the hero. Now, the shadows of the hero can turn into the grandstander bully. So to impress the people around him, he shows his superiority, right to dominate others, this inflation of ego. However, if you look deeper down, they live in lies and cowardice. Okay, they're really not that confident as they're projecting themselves out to be. So a coward is another repressed example of the hero. You start to have very difficult time with confrontations, intellectual confrontations, emotional confrontations, physical confrontations. You just will back out every time. You got to watch out for the shadow of the coward, because otherwise you're going to be a pushover, man. Other people are just going to walk all over you and take what they want. You can't have that. I know you're kind and empathetic and you've been taught that this is the way to go about it, being, nice to people and this kind of thing, right? But at the same time, man, you got to have a strong backbone. You got to have internal strength. And you're only going to get that through the experiences in life. So if you're going through an experience right now where you feel like, oh man, this is chaos, I don't know what I'm going to do, it doesn't make sense, I got to get out of this, I got to move on, I've got to do the shadow work of either the coward or the grandstander bully, if you have any of these little internal aspects. And just explore, man. There's questions that I have that will help you explore in my shadow work mastery program. You could also come down to Bali and I will do some one-on-one work with you. We're going in November, okay? So make sure you get your tickets right now. Okay, make sure you get your tickets right now. Make sure you send me a message if you need more details about it, because we only have a few spots left. We're not taking everybody. This is a small, intimate group that I want to coach. But for the people who are really committed to my teachings and this lineage moving forward, okay? You see, a hero is someone who's given his life to something bigger than himself. Heroes go through some physical deeds that they do, okay? They fight a war, or they sacrifice something, or they save a life of some sort, or they put themselves through the fire in order to get the elixir. Basically going from childhood to adulthood, if you understand this process, okay? This adultolescence phase is really defined through the heroism, because it's going from a psychological dependency on the mother, dependency on, the social structure in the system, and then burning the bridges and kind of being able to reconstruct a psychological self-responsibility, a self-sufficiency, a self-reliance and autonomy. This represents, obviously, a death or a resurrection motif. Now, just like I told you about the mother wound, finding out about your father is you finding out about your strength, is you finding out about your nature, what your career even might be. And of course, some people are thrown and pitched and initiated just accidentally into manhood or initiation into this world, right? Their dad was in a fraternity, they joined a fraternity in this pseudo initiation, and there we go. However, there's a deeper initiation that happens when you're actually overcoming your temptations. That's really what's going to help the hero. Jesus had to overcome 3 temptations. The Buddha had to overcome 3 different temptations. Why do we have this similar theme? I mean, even Muhammad was told to go to a cave and a voice told him to start writing, and that is the Quran. So losing yourself, losing the ego is actually a big part of these myths, big part of these stories, right? The consciousness starts to transform as the trials of life happen, or the challenges you get happen. How can you reach an illuminating revelation without actually putting yourself through this? Without actually embracing the challenges of life? Latching onto that challenge skills ratio, really going for it. The manifestation of the hero is a manifestation of the character that loves adventure, that loves to explore, that loves to discover things, that loves to, find and overcome and gain mastery. So water is always a symbol of the subconscious mind, right? Or the unconscious. So Jonah in the whale story, where he gets swallowed by the whale, is really him going on this shadow work quest, right? Because he's going into his own subconscious mind. Force can be another symbol for the subconscious mind. So we got to really look at the different stories and the myths and see which one of those archetypes, which one of those things that we read really resonates with us. Okay? These hero stories, find the ones that speak to your soul and you're on a good track. I hope you enjoyed this video today. If you have any questions around the hero specifically, you can ask me.